Hello everyone and welcome to this week's art journey. I'm making Sonic character badges, I guess you could call them. I'm gonna make them as stickers or something like that. And you may be wondering, well, why aren't you starting with Sonic if you're doing Sonic characters? Because I've technically already done him, I just didn't record it. I've actually done Sonic, Shadow, Knuckles, and Rouge already, so I started with Tails because I started with Tails. Kind of been doing them as like pairs, I guess you could say. So like you've got Sonic and Shadow as like their opposites, and then Knuckles and Rouge are like the opposites. So for Tails, his opposite will be Robotnik. And then I knew I wanted to do 4 for the video, but I didn't know who I wanted to do as the other 2. So I asked some people, and the only person who gave me a suggestion that I hadn't already done was my mom, who requested Longclaw. I'm like, okay, I can try. I don't think it turned out too bad. You'll see that later. But I came up with the base shape when I was doing the original 4, which I will show later on in the video, where you kind of got their head and then like something relevant of their body, and then the badgy thing behind them. And when I started doing these, I ended up making them a bit more detailed and personalized than I did on the first 4. So I may end up going back to the first 4 and fixing them up a little bit and making them a little more involved. But I really love how Tails has turned out. I used the colors for the blue tornado, and then had some, techie stuff on the inside, because yellow and red are also colors he typically has on his devices as well. And I really like how the blue metal turned out, and I like how I managed to do the yellow glowy circuitry. And I think he turned out really good. I think he's very good. Robotnik gave me a little bit of trouble. I'm not used to drawing bald people. And he's just, I don't know. I don't think I've ever drawn Robotnik. Like, I've doodled Tails before, I've doodled Sonic before, but I don't think I've ever done anything Robotnik-wise. I might have stuck his mustache on a character once or twice, but I think that's about it. So he's just kind of like this 2-part snowman. It's kind of what he looks like, but it's cute. I like it. And then he's got a little bit more of like a streamlined robo thing around him. And again, I tried to keep the colors relevant to the colors he typically makes his robots, the grays and the silvers and such like that. And I think he turned out pretty good. Longclaw gave me a lot of trouble. An owl is not a bird I think I've ever tried to draw before, and it's a character on top of being an owl. I had multiple pictures pulled up on my laptop screen, and I'm like, I did, as you can see, try to do her face forward instead of matching the other one. That didn't work. I eventually pulled up a picture of an actual owl and used that as my base reference, and then characterized it to Longclaw. And then for her body part addition used her wing. I kind of wish I made the wing a little bit bigger, but I didn't want it to stick out too far from the exterior of the badge. Pretty much all of the characters have something sticking outside of the framework, I suppose you could say, but I didn't want it to be super outside. I really like the design for her badge edge. I did have a lot of trouble deciding on what color to make it, because for a while she was looking a bit Thanksgiving, but I think I got it to a good color set, and I think it's the stripy feathers that was really making it feel Thanksgiving, but her feathers are striped, so I had to do it. But yeah, once I got her line work down, it was just the colors that I had some issue with. She was probably, out of the 4 of these, well, out of all of them, really, the one I had the most difficulty with. And then, you know, obviously I needed a partner for her. I'm like, trying to go through the list of Sonic characters in my head. I'm like, okay, well, she's like a guardian character, and she looks after, and she's like, I'm like, alright, I think I have an idea. So I decided to do Chaos, because Chaos actually originally started as a guardian character. He was a guardian to the Chow. So I'm like, this works. But he's also, you know, when he shows up initially, you know, before you find out his history and stuff like that, he is essentially, you know, a villain at first, because he's kinda a little crazy. So it makes him relevant as a counterpart in the Guardian sense, but he also plays the, you know, the enemy counterpart role as well, so I thought that worked out pretty good, and I'm really happy with how he turned out. I'm like, his brain shows, what am I gonna do with that? But I made it work. I think it looks pretty. It's not like, I'm rambling, I'm sorry. But it's like, it's there, but it's not like in your face. And I like how his surrounding badge turned out too. The colors ended up coming out really cool. So thank you for joining me on this week's art journey. I hope to see you again on next week's art journey and through the rest of this year's journey. Here are the past 4 that I did that I might redo, and I hope to see you next time. Till then, bye!